Hey guys, got a little confession to make. I pulled a mistake that a technician made yesterday, and I hate to make excuses, partially because I was busy with inspecting 5 trucks and 5 trailers. But on the unit that I replaced the crankcase ventilation and the EGR valve on, the code remained active, and there was something that I forgot to check before saying that it needs a harness, and this is solely on me. A little bitty 20 amp fuse. Can't believe I did it, but I did, and I confess. Anyways, I replaced the fuse, ran it. I was starting to get readings from the crankcase ventilation motor because it sends a signal to the PCI or the ECM, how fast it's actually spinning, and I was getting 10,000 RPMs out of it. Cleared the codes, code stayed inactive, just got back from a road test with it, so it's all good. But then there's this unit over here to my left that had a check engine light, was in derate. The code that was on it, these are all MX-13s by the way. The code that was on it was U1011, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, U1011, and the definition of the code is CAN communication hardware or software malfunction on ECAN. Now, if you're not familiar with the ECAN is going to be your emissions CAN. That's going to be all your emissions communication between your DPF, your SCR, your temp sensors there. It also does have communication with the VGT actuator, your EGR valve, your back pressure valve. All that stuff is communicated on your emissions CAN. So the troubleshooting procedures is, first step, update your PCI and EAS regardless if it needs it or not. So the PCI ECM just got finished, and right now it's doing the EAS, which is your emissions after treatment system module, I guess that's what it stands for. I'm not sure. But we'll see how this goes. Hopefully this resolves the issue. I don't know if it will or not. I know on Cummins, whenever you have this type of issue, it's either going to be your VGT actuator or it's going to be your outlet knock sensor, or you got a rub in your CAN harness somewhere. So let me get this updated. Right now the EAS is at 15%. Can't believe I fucking did this. But let me see what happens, and we'll go from there. We may have to start checking CAN lines on these particular modules, so I'll keep y'all updated. Hey y'all, alright, just want to show y'all this real quick. So that's a nail in the tire. Back pressure valve is down there, and you've got your fuse panel up here, ECM power 1, which is N9, Nancy 9. Is that fuse there? That's the one that was popped. So I was about to replace the entire J3 harness, which is the bottom one. It goes back behind J2 harness, comes up, goes behind J1 over here, circles around the engine. It also drops down here below the ECM, and it's got 4 connectors down there, which are a pain in the ass to get to. You've got your crankcase ventilation connector there, and your crankcase ventilation pressure, or your crankcase pressure over there. But this harness, whenever it wraps around this way, it's this harness right here. So you're gonna have this one here, which is your EGR valve, brand new. It's going to have this one here, which is your I think it's turbo speed sensor. Yes. And then it's going to connect down here for your VGT actuator. It's going to connect here for your oil pressure at the module. It's going to connect all this shit here, which is going to be your diesel doser. It's going to have your after back pressure valve temp sensor, your NOx sensor, and your delta piece. No, I don't remember what this one's freaking called. Anyways, it's got that one on there as well. But those are kind of a pain in the ass to get to. And then the sensor itself is hidden. This one's actually not too terrible to get to. The other ones with the other modules, it runs along the edge of the frame rail and it's got bolts like right there and there that you can't freaking get to. So this one wouldn't have been that bad to do, but I don't have to do it, so I'm happy about that. I was able to get it fixed. The other one, after updating the ECM and the after treatment module, codes went inactive immediately. Started it up, let it run for a little bit, and it was good. I was looking for this the other day. So both of these trucks are done. I need to let the customer know that I screwed up, and I'm gonna get my ass on my way to another job, so y'all stay tuned. Hey y'all. So my foreman did have something else for me to come out here and look at. Unfortunately, there ain't shit I can do to it. This particular dump truck was involved in a rollover accident, and the customer stated that it's still leaning to the left, so they were planning on taking it to the shop. But whenever they were driving it back here to their location, they reported that check engine light came on and it kept feeling like it was about to die. Connected up to it with Davey, and come to find out, it's got oil pressure code. So with this thing needing to go to the frame shop, I'm gonna recommend it get towed there, and they should be able to check it out for the engine issue, oil pressure issue, at the same location. So that's one of our bigger locations here in Dallas. They handle a lot of the collision work, so collision, body work, everything. So I'm gonna go in there and tell the customer, let them know the bad news, and then I'm gonna take off for the rest of the day. It's almost 1 o'clock. I started pretty early this morning, so y'all have a good one.